Hey, yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome into the Review at Rob show. Appreciate you hitting that play and coming over here to hang out with me, man. Today, doing a movie review for the film Twisted. This is not the early 2000s film starring Ashley Judd. This is the film that released this year of the same name, but not a remake of that movie. They just happen to share the same name. So, we'll be doing a spoiler free review of that. And I'm going to talk some Oscars, man. Do some Oscar talk after this movie review here for you that just happened. We're going to talk about the winners, my thoughts on the show overall, as I did watch the whole thing and all that stuff, man. Without further ado, let's go ahead and throw that poster up for you YouTube viewers. If you are an audio listener, you can find the show. It's Rob's Den on wherever you listen to podcasts, man. Go, man. There is your poster for you YouTube viewers. Do no harm is your tagline for this movie. You see, it stars Jaman Hassan there. Hopefully, you got his name right. And Lauren Lavera. The film is rated R for, we got some trigger words here, so I do apologize, but it's rated R for suicide, some sexual material, gore, sexual assault, language, and strong, bloody, violent content. Film runs in at 1 hour, 33 minutes, and is classified as a horror mystery thriller film. If you are a long-time listener and or viewer of this show, appreciate you. I like to call that the trifecta of awesome. Also, if you're a long-time listener and or viewer of the show, you know that I like to go into movies with as little information as possible, and I really did not know much about this film other than Lauren Lavera was starring in it. I follow her on the Instagram and saw she posted about it and all this stuff. I'm like, I'll check it out. That's all I knew about this movie. Now, I rented it on Fandango at home. It's basically a rentable film. Now, if you do Google it, it does say it's on Shutter. It is not. I went to Shutter and typed it in there. It is not there. It is not available for you on Shutter. So don't listen to that lie. Google AI lying to you, man. But it's not there. So, but in the process of renting this movie is like $6, 6.50 something after tax. But in the process of renting this movie, brain got a little curious, eyes meh, hit the synopsis of the movie, and I knew what I was getting into, and kind of I had an idea of what I can talk to you about without spoiling anything here. So, um, Lauren Lavera, is playing a con artist in this film, a rental con artist to be precise. So her character is showing a home for rent and all that stuff, and tricks people into sending her money and to thinking they are going to be renting the home, but of course they have been conned and they will not have that home to them and all that stuff. So that's what she's doing. That's what her character is, and in the process of doing all that, she ends up getting herself into some trouble and gets captured. So that is the basic information I give you without spoiling anything about the movie. So, interesting enough idea, right? Nothing too groundbreaking or nothing too insane. The story's not going to be one of those things that you got to overly complicatedly think about while watching or anything like that. But it is an okay storyline and all that. It's easy to follow along with. Is that something that can keep you, at least kept me, interested throughout the film. Like the beginning of the movie, we're dealing with some of her character and her story and all that stuff, and her relationship and everything in the beginning of the film. But then we get into the aspect of what happens and when she gets captured and all that stuff. That's where like the stuff starts getting weird and wild and all that stuff. It is rated R for bloody, violent content, and all that, and gore. So you do get some of that stuff. It's not anything over the top. I don't know why I was necessarily expecting I was getting something extremely over the top. I don't know. It's because Lauren's connection to the Terrifier franchise, or the fact that it was directed by Darren Bousman, who's done Boseman. Hopefully, I said his last name right, but he's done some of the Saw movies and all that stuff, and in the process of hitting play, you'll see that it says Twisted Pictures, which they have that cool title card, man. But Twisted Pictures and all that stuff. So you kind of feel like you're getting into a Saul situation here, but you're not really. But it does have like this weird, you know, vibe to it, if you will, and all that stuff, especially with her being captured and, the situation of her being in this situation where, you know, can she get out of it? Or what's going to happen with her and all that stuff? And, the things that's going on around her in that process, it's crazy. And, it's stuff that can definitely make you squeamish and, adds to that thriller aspect and all that stuff. Um, the mystery, kind of easy to pick up on. I wouldn't say it was necessarily too hard to figure out what was going on in this movie. Um, but it was good. Like, I think the performance is good. Again, you told you just 2 stars there. Jaman Hassan, hopefully saying his name correctly. You know him from like Blood Diamond, A Quiet Place. several films. You're gonna know him from a lot of movies. And Lauren Lavera kind of touched on it a minute ago. Terrifier films, Terrifier 2 and 3, when they started to do stories in those movies. So Terrifier 2 and 3, and they're writing Terrifier 4 now. I think they're still in the writing process, Terrifier 4. But I like those movies. I had a good time with those movies. Loved the Halloween Horror Nights house. Um, that's what you know those two from. Neil McDonough is in this movie. I think I said his name right. I suck with names, terrible with names. But you know him in a lot of movies as well. He's one of those guys that pops up in films. You're like, oh, I know him. I know him from something, and then you immediately like, what do I remember from? And then you go to your phone like, oh yeah. Like for me, anytime I see him, I immediately think of the Walking Tall movie starring The Rock. The film overall, it's one of those things. Again, I felt the same way with Dolly that I reviewed, where I'm like, I had a good time with it. Like it kept me invested the whole time. Like there's never a point where I wanted to pick up my phone and stop watching or stop, you know, being interested in the film because I wanted to see where it was going to go, even though I could pick up on some things and call a scene here or there. But it was still one of those things where I want to see where this ends up going and seeing, what ends up happening with this character and all that stuff. So it did keep me intrigued. So I guess the thriller aspect and the horror aspect worked. I love my horror films and all that stuff, so I liked it. Did I like it more than Dolly? I don't think so. It's on that same level. And like I said with Dolly, it's not going to be a top 10 film of the year. And it probably won't be a top 10 horror film for the year for me, but I still had a good time with it and it was enjoyable. And, I don't feel bad about the 650 that I spent on it, to watch it or anything like that. It was intriguing enough to keep me invested the whole 1 hour 33 minutes, so not that long of a movie at all. So if you're a fan of horror films, if you're a fan of Lauren, which she's got a following from the Terrifier franchise, which deservedly so, and she's a good actress. I like what she was doing in this movie, and I obviously liked her in the Terrifier films. But it's worth your time. It's worth your time if you want to check it out, man. I enjoyed it. Probably won't watch it again, but I did enjoy it this time that I did watch it. And I've not going to call them out, but I liked it more than other movies I've seen this year, other horror movies I've seen this year. I liked it more than that, man. So overall, entertaining enough movie for 1 hour and 33 minutes. Maybe would have cut out. I don't know if I would have cut anything out. Like the movie's okay. There you go. Overall, I liked the film. Is basically what I'm getting at. If you've seen Twisted, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. But from there, let's go ahead and jump into some Oscar talk, man. So I did watch the Oscars. Just pulling it up here real quick. Screenshotted some of the winners because I'm not going to remember this off the top of my head. But let's go ahead and go into the Oscars here, man. So the Oscars did take place, 2026 films. I watched the whole thing. I've tried my best to watch it the last couple of years, and I think I have watched it fully the last couple of years. This one is one of the ones where I felt very entertained the whole time. I thought it was a fun process right from the start. They did this fun opening video with Conan O'Brien, with the weapons theme behind it. You can figure out obviously with him, and his orange hair and all that stuff. But it was fun. It was very entertaining. It was funny. He ran into some other film scenes while doing it, and just having a good fun time. I thought that was cool. And then his opening monologue was funny and fun and all that stuff. So I had a good time with Conan. And the show overall was pretty good, man. The awards, mostly we're going to talk about the horror movie awards. I don't have every single one here, but I did a screenshot of Blade Disgusting's thing because horror did have a very good night, man. Horror films won pretty big. So obviously we've got Sinners that was nominated for the most awards all time. They won for Best Cinematography, Best Original Score, Best Original Screenplay for Ryan Coogler, and Michael B. Jordan won that Best Actor award, baby. Super stoked and excited about that. Love me some Michael B. Jordan, and he absolutely deserved it. I think his performance is fantastic. He's, of course, playing twins in the film. But he's such a solid freaking actor, man. Everything I've seen him in, he's a solid actor. And I love that both him and Ryan Coogler won awards, and, the same night because they've been, working together for so long and have teamed up so many times. To see both of them win in the same night is so cool, man. If I remember correctly, I think Best Original Score, Ludwig, I think he's done the majority of, if not all of, Ryan Coogler's films. Could very well be wrong about that. And Best Cinematography Award there. Frankenstein, surprised. I don't know why, because I enjoyed Frankenstein, but Frankenstein won a good bit as well. They won Best Production Design, Best Costume Design, Best Hair and Makeup. They did a good job, man. I think they won Best Adapted Screenplay too. That's not that's not on here, but they won Best Adapted Screenplay. Yeah, yeah. Um, and then Weapons, that was the first award of the night. Amy Madigan won for Best Supporting Actress for Weapons and all that stuff, man. So Horror had a pretty good night. They also included K-pop Demon Hunters in here. I still have not seen that movie. I know it's very popular, but I have not seen that movie. I don't know. Is that a horror movie? Like, I don't know. I know it's got demon in the name, but that doesn't make you a horror movie? I don't know. I haven't seen it, but it won for best animated feature, and of course the song "Golden" that was stuck throughout many people's heads. You've heard it everywhere. That won best original song. So there you go. I would have given it something from Sinners, but hey, whatever. But those are your big winners, man. And then just overall, Oscars 2026, One Battle After Another was the big winner. It had 6 wins. I haven't seen that movie either. Somehow I have not seen that movie. I don't know how. Sinners followed that with 4. Frankenstein had 3. K-pop Demon Hunters had 2. And Avatar, Fire and Ash, F1, Hamnet, Sentimental Value, and Weapons all won one. I just told you one about Weapons. Hamnet, that is Jessie Buckley, who won for Best Actress. She was in The Bride that I reviewed last week. I haven't seen Hamnet either. Avatar, I purposely did not see. But Hamnet, I don't know why I haven't seen that yet either. F1, I never got around to either. Released the same day as Mega 2.0. I don't know, man. I wasn't doing the double features as heavy last year as I was this year. I would have seen both of them. But yeah, I'm missing on some movies. But one of the things I screenshotted as well that is just wild to me, not in the sense that it's not deserving, but it's like it's so crazy with everything that's going on in the film world that Warner Brothers won a lot of awards. Like Warner Brothers won a fair, they won 11 awards based on the screenshot I won here. And of course, that's Sinners and One Battle After Another being the leading ones there. And it's just looking at that and realizing that they're being sold. Like they're being sold and merged into another company, which is probably Paramount. It hasn't been finalized, but it seems like it's going to be Paramount. And I don't even think Paramount won anything tonight. I don't remember even hearing Paramount's name listed. So the fact that they're Warner Brothers being sold into Paramount is just, what are we doing? You know, what is going on here? But so crazy, man. But deserving win. Sinners is a very good movie. One Bathroom with Another, I'm sure is a very good movie. He won Best Director, Paul. Of course, blanking on his name, but he won Best Director. That won Best Movie overall. Leo's in it. Leo didn't win, but Leo's in it. You know, it seems like a very talented cast by all means. I need to watch that movie. I think the reason I haven't gotten around to it, and I don't know why this is bothering me because I've watched plenty of movies this long, but I think it's a very long movie. I just haven't sat down and like decided I'm going to spend that time on that movie. But overall, I'm not really necessarily upset about any of the winners by any means. I would have preferred Sinners to win, of course. I mean, again, I haven't seen One Battle for Another, so I can't really compare. But I don't really, that really bother me that it won either. But Begonia not winning anything, what the heck? What the heck? I liked that movie. Nah. Yeah, I don't know. I really honestly, every time it came up, I was like, I like that movie, but I didn't really expect it to win anything. But I mean, Emma probably could have won for Best Actress. Again, I haven't seen Hamnet, but she probably could have won. But she's also won two other times, I believe. 2, right? Yeah, she won for La La Land, right? She won for Poor Things. I know she won for Poor Things, and Begonia is better than that movie, but that's neither here nor there. Yeah, she won for La La Land. Let's do the classic review at Rob thing where we pull this stuff up. Emma Stone, Oscar, La La Land. Yeah, best actress. Yeah, so she won for La La Land. Yeah, Emma Stone won her first Academy Award for Best Actress in La La Land. Yeah, so she's got 2 already, so it's okay that she didn't win a 3rd one yet. She will get one. She will get another one. It's freaking Emma Stone. She's fantastic. But we are rambling on here, so let's go ahead and get out of here. Kind of fun to do this again. This is kind of the old Review at Rob show where I did the review up top and then did the news and stuff afterwards. Might need to bring that back, man. These episodes. So, talk the film Twisted. It's okay. It's all right. It'll get you through the time. 1 hour, 33 minutes. It's all right. You've seen worse movies. And then the Oscar talk, man. Let me know what you thought about the Oscars and the winners and all that stuff in the comments. Keep it civil, keep it nice. And before we get out of here, I always like to remind you you matter, capable, incredible things. Trust in yourself, believe in yourself, and keep going, man. Doors will open for the positive for you as long as you keep rolling, man. And you do matter. Trust yourself, believe in yourself, give yourself some peace, give yourself some love. And until next time, thank you for watching the Review at Rob Show.